Good. So.
Test. 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 You can hear me okay?
I can hear you okay. How's the sound on your side?
Test. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2.
No. Nope, I can't. Try this again. Okay, try now.
Test. Testing 1, 2.
Sure. I'll try that.
Testing 1, 2. Test. Oh, got it now.
Yeah, gotcha now.
What's the secret? How'd you do that, Curtis?
I don't know, I hit those 3 buttons.
Hit those 3 buttons, crossed your fingers.
That's what we do. We're professionals after all. All right, folks, welcome to playoff hockey. We are at Castle Downs Arena B. Teams just taking to the ice, taking off on their warm-ups. So, who do we got, partner? We got CAC Think Green Alberta with a 20-11 record coming into this playoff game.
Yeah, Curtis, I really look at, the win and the tie that Scafom-rux has in the last week or so of league play. That combined with a 5-4 record for this Canadians team in the last 9 games. So just above 500. I don't think that's a better team that you can play in game 1 of this round robin. And speaking of that, Curtis, as far as U15 AA, the AHL, everybody makes it to the dance. So keys to the game for MLAC, I'd hope for maybe a little bit of an advantage that every team in this tournament, including the Canadians, are going to underestimate this Leafs team, which will give them an advantage, a slight one, maybe a mental one. And keys to the game, I'd say, Curtis, for Scafom-rux would just be work hard on the forecheck force turnovers, but play a disciplined game. Don't allow this Canadiens team with about a 35% power play percentage to get a goal in special teams. Besides that, as far as the Canadiens, I would think that they try to drag MLAC into taking undisciplined penalties after the play, after the whistle. But at this point, playoffs, like I said, Curtis, you got to maintain discipline, not be the only one go to the penalty box out of a scrum, maybe in front of the net after a whistle. What are your thoughts?
Right, you never know what's going to happen. You're right, it's playoff time. Leafs have been connecting well in the last few games of the season here. Getting a tie was like 2 weeks ago, and then the win this last week. I think the Leafs are, I don't know, gelling as a team right at the right time. Looks like we could be in a good game, and look for the Leafs to surprise the Canadiens if they can get that first goal, and I think that would make a very different game after that.
Yeah, I think the Leafs, if they come out and get that first goal, I think it'll force the Canadiens to tighten up and get uncomfortable. I think that's where you want to get them, is into an uncomfortable state. The Leafs with a 14.69 power play percentage, Curtis, but I don't think that number is accurate given what the Leafs have done in the last few weeks with the power play. So, like we talked about special teams, if the Leafs can go on the power play and score one, we've seen it over the last 4 or 5 games that special teams has been a factor every single time. So I don't expect it to be any different tonight.
All right, team's just about ready here. I think we'll be doing the national anthem shortly. Some names to watch for from CAC will be number 5, Alex Sychuk, number 19, Ken Hun, and Tyler Dukovic wearing the number 6 sweater. They're the leading scorers for Think Green. Lighting up recently for the Leafs, number 8, Cashton Cano, number 20, Rory Cole, and number 12, Landon Baldwin. Oh, we're jumping right into it.
Well, Curtis, I'll give you my 2 X Factor players, one for each team. Somebody not on this top 5 scoring, I'm going to say Fayad. He's been hot of late. That's going to be my pick for MLAC as an X Factor, and for the Think Green Canadians, I'm going to go with Oliver McCoy, their starting goaltender. 5'2", 95 pounds. It's either going to make or break if MLAC can go upstairs on him, a lot smaller stature. But if he can steal a game with a 7-6 record in the season, he might be the X factor for the Canadiens.
Very good. Very good. Lots of noise going on in the rink tonight. Welcome to the opening game of the 2026 playoffs for MLAC Scafom-rux Leafs.
On the MLAC going with the physical line of Rahal, Baldwin, Schumacher to start up front with Goudreau and Smith on the back end.
And there we go. Puck's dropped. Goudreau picks it up, dumps it into the CAC zone. Picklington tries to move it up around the corner, shoveled up the boards. Canadians going to move that out. Knocked down at center by Smith, moves that to the near boards. Goudreau's going to dump that back the other way. Soychuk picks that up for the Canadians. Chopped out to the near boards. Baldwin picks it up. Schumacher follows it up, tries to dump it into the zone, but that's going to end up out of play. And we're going to stop here with 19:30 to go in the first period.
I like that right off the bat. MLAC, Goudreau just throws it into the opposite corner, gets the forecheck going for the forwards. I think Schumacher just tried to lob that in to the back end to get a line change in, but great start here for MLAC.
Face off near side, just outside the Leafs zone. Canadians jump in offside, and we'll have to redo that draw. Yep. Looks like we're already having internet problems.
Bent will chip and chase, negating the icing. Canadians bring it back in the zone. Passed off, and that's off the blocker of Andhurst, who gets his first taste of action. Puck in the near corner. Weiss tries to strip his man of the puck, and Fayette will chip that out of the neutral zone past Carlson and give chase. Canadians work it up and out. Smith will pick that off and lob it back into the opposite corner. Fayette in pursuit. Forces the D-man to rim it around the boards to the opposite side. Jafaris forces the Canadians back in their own zone. They'll try to regroup and come out the near side. Canadians to center. Shields on the backtrack. Strips his man of the puck. 1-on-3. The Canadians in fire. That's off the blocker of Andhurst. Picked up by Smith. He'll try to reverse that. He's stripped to the puck. The Canadians back through. Right to the front of the net. Shot on net. Andhurst able to keep that aside. Tipped on the way to the cage. And Andhurst will smother up for a whistle. Just under 4 minutes into this first period.
Leafs are going to have to be quick in their own zone to get that puck out. Soychuk right away. As soon as he saw the puck, able to lift the stick of the exiting MLAC player and keeping it in the zone. Face off near side in the Leafs zone. Canadians win it. That shot goes wide of the net. Shoveled to the far boards. Rahal picks it up. That's going to be tipped back into the corner. Resler around the boards to the near side for Schumacher. Schumacher up the boards looking for Goudreau. That's knocked down by the Canadians. Comes to the point. Soychuk fires that into traffic. Goudreau's going to move that out to center. Hits the back skate of Rahal, so he comes back for it, resets it for Resler. Resler over to Schumacher. Schumacher up to Baldwin. Baldwin coming in the right side into the Canadian zone. Stopped halfway. Schumacher follows that up. Canadians put that out to the neutral zone. Baldwin back for it. Trying to stretch that around the far side, looking for Rahal, and that is just off the bark. And we get a stop in play, ice and cold with 16:12 left. Yeah, I'm using those now. We are gonna mute Nathan's mic just for a sec. Face off. One. And the Canadians, the Leafs get the puck out to the neutral zone. Roberts dumped on the far boards. Canadians dump that into the Leafs zone. Far side, Cole picks it up, throws it hard around the boards, picked up by number 4. That comes into the slot low shot. That's gonna just make it in. Just behind. Just behind Andhurst. Ooh, that is getting glitchy there. We're almost there, folks. We're almost got it dialed in. But the Canadians open up the scoring. With 15:40 to go in the first period. Shot on, Anders steers that aside. Kept it in the far corner. Nice. Here we go. Canadians coming out to center. That's knocked down by the Leafs. Dumped back in to the right side by Asaf. Puck rolls around the boards to the near side. Leafs initially keep it in, but the Canadians jump on it, move it out. Pilkington dumps that down the ice, chipped in by number 18, Hawken. Puck comes loose for Roland. Roland puts that up the near side. P keeps that in at line battle into the slot. Slid over to the right side, trying to connect with Hawken, but that ends up in the far boards. Canadians still with the puck. Peak has trouble handling it at the point, and it's thrown back into the Leaf zone. Roland with it. Skips past Jafaris, dumped back in the Leaf zone. Anders shovels that out for Roland. Roland with it. He's going to flip that up the ice. Coming up the right side is Fayad. Puck gets just in front of him. Peak comes back for it. Cycles behind his own net. Put to the far boards. Fayad jumps in there. Puck moved around him. Coming away with it is Vihos. Vihos up to Haydovic. They get across the blue line. Blade offside indicated. Leaves with some time to move the puck out. Weiss puts that up the near side. Battle for it at center. Now it's sent into the Canadian zone. Icing waved off. Behind the net. Popowich picks it up. Runs into some Leaf traffic. Canadians get it out to center though. Haydukovic coming up the right side into the Leaf zone. Makes the inside move. Low shot. Anders with the save. Cleared away by the Leafs. Cole trying to move it up the boards. Connects with Baldwin. Baldwin shovels that out. Looking for Rahal. That's going to be knocked down by Matter. Matter flips that to the far boards. Rolls into the Leaf zone. Cole picks it up. Cole up to Baldwin. Canadians pick it up at center. That's rolled back into the Leaf zone. Baldwin moves it up. It comes out. Ooh, they're going to call it icing. No, they're not. Icing waved off. Play continues. Put to the far side. Canadians chop that out to center. Resler with it. He hangs on. Moves up the far boards. Nice pass to Roberts. Roberts dumps that in. Goes to chase. Stopped by McCoy behind the net. We had to move it quick as Canal was giving him pressure. Puck comes loose for Roberts. Roberts spins out, and the puck is tipped out to the neutral zone. Resler picks it up for the Leafs. Over to Goudreau. Goudreau over to Roberts. Roberts comes into the zone. Passes it back to Shields. Shields low on McCoy. McCoy makes the save. Puck sent over to the far boards. Off the bench, Bent dumps that back in the Canadian zone. Canadians coming up the near side, led by Pilkington. He lost control of the puck, chopped into the far boards. Pilkington picks it back up at the point, though. That's knocked down in traffic. Kicked over to the near side. Peak has to come out to center to pick it up. Peak over to Pilkington. Pilkington trying to move over to the near side. That's cut up by Asaf. Black couldn't spin out in front. Oh, that goes off. It's an own goal.
Oh, Asaf got a piece of it.
Oh, Asaf got a piece of it. Just
stripped him of the puck. Put it 5-hole.
And the Leafs score with 11:23 left in the first period, tying this game up at 1.
I was just gonna
Go ahead. You're good. I can hear you.
I was just going to say, Curtis, on that last zone entry before that, great pass across. Shields picks it up, and a shot right on McCoy, and he just couldn't handle it cleanly. Dropped a rebound, and there again, get the puck to the net. Good first shift by Knoll to get onto the forecheck, and at the end of that shift, they get rewarded with a goal.
Yeah, McCoy was a little shaky with Knoll breathing down his neck. Puck stays in the zone. Jumping back to play now. Shoemaker moves that up the right side, gets the puck into the Canadian zone. Battle for it just inside the blue line, moving it down the boards. Still battling for it. Baldwin pokes it loose, hit in the corner. Sharp angle shot. That goes up the boards and comes out to center. Back in the Leafs zone, Smith with it. Moves the puck up to Baldwin, up to Shoemaker. Shoemaker puts it up and into the Canadian zone. Canadians go to the far side. Picked up by number 18, Hawken, dumped into the near corner. Matter moving down. Smith puts him into the boards. Smith not content on hitting one player. He goes after Kondo next and knocks the puck loose. Now it comes back. Canadians pick it up again. Hey, Dukovic. Down low. Picked up by Kondo, or not Kondo, that is Bennell, thrown out in front. Puck sent wide. Battle for it below the Leafs goal line. Taken away by the Leafs. Here's Rahal moving it out. Nice pass to Baldwin. Baldwin the space coming up the right side. Moved to the far boards. Throws the puck down low. Bent. He's pushed off the puck. Put over down low. Stolen back by Asaf. Asaf driving towards the lane. Oh, it comes back. Goal with a shot. And that's it. The Canadians score. A nice barred out shot by Rory Cole. And the Leafs will go up 2-1 with 9:33 to go in the first period.
Well, if we were going to get a stoppage there, Curtis, I was going to say, did you feel the momentum switch after MLAC got that goal? Wow. And as a result, again, Rory Cole right upstairs into a mail slot, crossbar and down. And it's 2 goals on 3 shots for MLAC against McCoy. So if this save percentage or lack thereof continues, I could see them putting in Barkemeyer.
Canadians move the puck over to the near side. Trying to jam it across center. Taking up the right side. Dumped in. Pilkington. Oh no. The shot from center. It surprises Amherst. Gets into the back of the net. And the Canadians have tied it up with 9:15 to go in the first period.
Well,
oh boy.
Unfortunately, Curtis, both teams are going to be into a shoot first mentality here, and this is 4 goals within the first 10 minutes of this hockey game.
14 shots, 4 goals.
Keep going.
Well, the game is underfoot.
Oh man, this will be fun tonight now. Oh boy. Poor Enzo. He usually gets those. And I mean, like, always. Tough one for a goalie dad to watch. Leafs keep it in the zone. Turn fired! Oh, Shoemaker just missed.
What an opportunity for Schumacher.
Cole gets that, sends it down low. Picked up by the Canadians. Puck comes out to center. Cole with it. Flips that into the right side. Fayad tags up. Chases Carson. Carson sends the puck to the far corner. Against the boards. Kondo picks it up. Directed down low. Puck on the narrow side. Trying to jam it up the boards. Leaves keeping it in the zone. Picked up by Shields. Fayad turns, fires on the near side. I think that's Knoll trying to jam it back. Directed towards the net. And McCoy is going to get a piece of that and get in the glove. He's going to hang on to that with 8:14 to go in the first period.
Well, both these teams getting the puck on net. Shots on goal 11-3 in favor of the Canadians. But MLAC making short work on their 3 shots, Curtis.
Draw one by the Canadians in their own zone. Here they come. Nice breakout looking through center. Hutton tries to center that. That's broken up by the Leafs. Canadians dump it down low. Shields goes to the far side. Manages to get it up to Canal. Canal hangs on. Now tries to stretch it. That's off the skate of number 9. Switchup thrown into the slot. Cleared away by Canal. Canal trying to jam it loose. Caught by Peak. Canal though dumps it into the Canadian zone. Switchup moves that up. Stolen back by Shields. Dumps that to the far corner. Canadians trying to jam it up the far side. Leafs holding the zone. Battle for it on the far boards. Comes loose for Roland. Or sorry, Weiss, who keeps that in the zone. Now the Canadians will get it out. Hunt's going to put that deep into the Canadian zone. Goes to the far corner and picks it up. Shields shovels that back down. Canadians trying to center that. Pops out to the blue line, but not out. Matter keeps that in, sends that in the near boards. Popovich holds the line, followed up by Baldwin. Baldwin's going to move that up the ice, coming up the right side. Couldn't make the inside move. Canadians get that out to center. Puck rolls to the far boards, picked up by number 18, Hawken. Up to the Canadian zone. Smith over to Weiss. Weiss right side for Schumacher. Schumacher carrying that down low. Moves that back to Baldwin. Baldwin to Weiss at the point. Weiss fires that. That's a hit. A stick goes wide of the net. Picked up on the far side. Smith activates. Keeps it in the zone. Canadians, though, with the second effort, are going to get that down the ice. Weiss back to play it. Weiss cycles to the far side. Tracked down by Prusov. Prusov comes in the slot. That's taken away by Baldwin. Flipped out to center. Followed up by Weiss on the right side. Canadians get a hold of it. They're going to put that down the ice. And icing called here with 6:07 left in the first period.
Well, again, during that last shift, Canadians get possession of the puck in the corner and try to center it to the centerman, but Schumacher picked it off, and Canadians got to be careful here not to turn over pucks into the middle of the ice, and the Leafs have to ensure that if they get trapped in their own end, they ice the puck down and get rid of the pressure.
Leafs take the puck into the corner of the Canadian zone. Canadians now move it around the far side. That's pinched in by the Leafs D. That's Cole. Sends that down low for Black. Black shovels that back to the far corner. Soft back to Black. Put down low. Leafs trying to battle it off the boards. Canadians going to grab it and move it out of the zone. Going to the right side. That's chipped into the Leafs zone. Leafs pick it up behind their net. Reverse back to the far corner. Cole up to Bent. Bent gets that out to center. Knocked down by Carson. Carson puts that to the near side. Benel finishes the dump in. Goes to the far corner for Cole. Cole. Holowadiuk. Lost in the skates. Knocked away by number 15, Benel. Cole puts that off. Oh, knocked down at the line. Into the slot. That is shoveled wide. Asaf comes back for it. He loads the Jets up. Coming across center in the right side. Makes the inside move. And he's tracked down.
And the official has it, Curtis. That is a hooking penalty right there. Asaf just drove through the middle, cut through the defenders. And if he gets through, he's all alone, staring into the eyes of McCoy. But so instead, it's a 2-minute penalty for hooking. And your Scafom-rux Maple Leafs are on the power play.
Madden Peak into the box for the Canadians with 4:47 left in the first period. Face off near side in the Canadian zone. Shovel to the near boards. Cole with it for the Canadians. Left side. There's a shot by Shields. Schumacher chips it loose. And the Canadians going to get it and dump it down into the Leafs zone. Cole picks it up behind his own net. Hanging on to it. Reverses. Drops that back for Saf. Saf looking for Cole. Who has given up. Here's a 2-on-1. Back the other way. And it's a short-handed goal. Oh, no. The Leafs overplay it in their own zone. Puck lost on the boards. Nobody back to defend, and it's a 2-0 that the Canadians make good on. Can't see mistakes like that if you want to hang out with a top team.
Forward breakout, you need support. You need to support the puck carrier. And unfortunately, a turnover just inside the blue line, and two Canadians on a 2-0 on Enzo Endhurst. Not much he can do there, Curtis.
Canadians dump the puck into the Leaf zone. Weiss chops that out, picked up by Shields. Shields now heading up the ice with it. Takes the left side, looking for a trailer. Ran out of time. Puck taken away by Matter. Kept it at the point though. Rolling, moving it down. Shovel to Shields. Shields had his numbers crossed with the staff. The puck ends back up in the Leaf zone. 40 seconds left in the Leafs power play. Turnover at center. Puck stuck back in. Weiss to the near side. Connects with Rahal. Rahal coming into the zone. Makes the inside move. Rahal into the slot. Hangs on. Shot. Locked in front. Oh, and the near side just comes over to number 15, Bennell. He's caught behind the net. Canadians trying to wheel it out of their zone. Maybe the Canadians overplaying it here. Roland keeps that in at the line. That's moved down low for Rahal. Oh, it bounces off the stanchion, and the Canadians will have an easy clear down the ice. They've killed off their penalty. They're back to full strength and have a shorthanded goal in hand. Swiatek comes in, Heights with a shot, Anders with the save, moves over and takes that away. It's off the pad. Canadians get the puck back. Send that to the right side in the point. Blocker save. Comes up high, low shot. That hit traffic. Makes it towards Anders, and Anders is going to hang on. Somehow able to locate that through traffic and gets the stop with 2:21 left in the first period.
A little bit of puck watching there at the end of the shift, Curtis, as the puck has moved around the zone and Canadians just pounding the puck through traffic. Somehow that stays out and Anders able to find it and cover it up for a whistle. But the momentum back into the Canadians' favor for now, but we'll see what happens here. Just over 2 minutes remaining in the first frame.
Face off near side. In the Leafs zone. Canadians win it. Peak holds that in at the point. Shields sends that to Canal. Canal up to Cole. Cole up to Roberts. Roberts couldn't get past Peak, the last defender. Shoveled up the near side. Roberts makes the inside move on Peak. Enters the zone. Roberts outside inside move. Oh, and tracked down from behind. And the shot just goes wide. Roberts gets up slow. He's going to make his way to the bench. Looks a little wounded there.
Oh, there Grayson Roberts able to push the defenseman right back to the hash marks. Defenseman wasn't going to let him come to the net for free and knocked him down. Maybe it's best to just fire it. Change the angle of the shot, fire it past the shin pads, use the defenseman as a screen.
Puck won by the Canadian. Oh, that's on the wrong camera. Canadians put it into the Leaf zone. Ends up right in front of Anders. He pokes that to the far boards. Shovel down. Black's going to find that on the near side. Up the boards, looking for Saf, just past him. Knocked down at center.
Come on, MLAC!
Here they go to the far side. Goudreau up the boards. Puck comes out to center. Knocked down by Popowich, sent to the far side. Canadians with the puck. Dump that in the Leaf zone. Cole picks it up with 55 seconds to go in the period. Moves the puck up to Bent. Bent hanging on to it. He's going to carry that in. Chipped off the puck on the far side. Moves it down low. Canadians there first. Move it up the outside. Put over to the near boards. Saparlo puts that into the Leafs zone, knocked down by Rahal. 30 seconds to go in the period as the pass comes over to Smith. Smith moves that to the line, held in at the point. Loose puck picked up by Holowadiuk. Carson keeps that in for the Canadians. Knocked down by Shoemaker. Shoemaker goes to the outside, couldn't connect with Baldwin. Holowadiuk knocks that down though. He's going to carry that into the Canadian zone. Chopped off the puck. Canadians, chance for one last mini rush if you go straight to the net. Step across the line, held up, and the buzzer will go on the period. And the teams will head into the dressing rooms with the Canadians up 3-2.
Now 5 goals in that first period, Curtis. Shots on goal, 18-5 favor the Canadians. 3 goals on 18 shots for the Canadians. Where's your Leafs able to score 2 on 5 shots versus Oliver McCoy.
Yep. I think the Leafs just have to simplify it a little more in their own zone on the power play there. It's tough to give up a short one like that.
Yeah, just even in your own zone. Like I said, try to go up the wall 2 different times. It doesn't work. You got to put the puck off the glass and out, or if you get hemmed in your zone, clear it down for an icing, get fresh legs on the ice, and they've been getting their opportunities in the offensive zone. They get on the forecheck, and the Leafs have been, winning puck battles and getting shots on net. So you see the intensity and the effort there. You just have to minimize the opportunities for the opposition.
Yep, yeah, for sure. I like what I'm seeing on the forecheck. Lots of hard work, and we're turning pucks over.
Yep,
just got to get into that zone. All right, folks, we will let our sponsors have a word. We'll be right back here for the second period. In about 15 minutes. The Zamboni's not on yet. folks. Welcome back to Castle Downs Arena B. We just dropped the puck on the second period. This playoff game between CAC's Think Green and MLAC Scafom-rux. Puck going into the Leafs zone. Turned over in the corner. Fed down low. That's slapped back into the corner. Picked up by number 6, Dukovic. Flipped over to the far side for Bennell. Puck stuck against the boards right now. Loosened up by the Canadians. Canadians take a look to the near side, centering pass. That's broken up by the Leafs. Cole takes that in the corner. Saf comes over to help. Moves the puck over to Weiss. Weiss up to Black. Black up to Saf. 2-on-1 developing. Saf on the right. Bent on the left. Saf to Ben. Oh, that is broken up by Matter, and the puck goes over to the near side. Fed down low. Fed through the slot. Comes over to Bent on the far side. That's flipped on the far side. The Leafs have tied it up. And it was just tap it in. Just tap it in.
3 words, Curtis. Shoot the puck. Get the puck on this goalie. Bent decides to shoot from the half wall on the far side. Off the blocker of McCoy. And guess who's Johnny on the spot to tie this game at 3? Adrisa Saf.
Adrisa Saf. Putting that puck in, ties the game up with 18:45 to go in the second period. Canadians put the puck into the Leafs zone. Leafs throw that on the outside, tried to clear it up the glass, but ends up in the Canadians bench. We're going to stop here with 18:34 to go in the second period.
So first shift of the period, MLAC gets hemmed in their zone by the Canadians, but the Canadians can't get the puck to the middle of the ice. Great job by MLAC to keep the puck on the outside. They break out, come down, and short work tie this game at 3.
Off the draw, the Canadians fire that from the point. It's off the pads and into the back of the net. And the Canadians regain the lead with 18:29 to go in the second period. Yeah, it looks like it just caught his left pad and bounced in 5-0 maybe. Not sure he saw all of it, but he feels it. Now there's a stick save by Anders, sent to the far side. Canadians shovel that down low. Resler over to Holowadiak. Pinched in on the left side by the Canadians, number 21 Carson. Cycled around the boards to the near side, comes into the slot, pushed out by Holowadiak over to Roberts. Waits for Resler to step into it. Resler coming up the right side, dumps that into the Canadian zone. Picked up by Pilkington. Pilkington near side, that's cut off by Shields. Put up the near boards. Canal, low shot. That is stopped in front, I think, by number 7 Peak. Breakout comes to Fugelborg. Fugelborg, that shot hit his stick. Anders shovels that into the corner for Shields. Holowadiak picks it up. Oh, it chipped away by Soychuk. Soychuk steps into the slot. Soychuk, leading scorer on the team, turns around, fires into traffic on the backside. Kicked away by Anders. There's the goaltending we expect from the Leafs goaltender.
Big save there. Yep. 2 Canadians players right in front of the net. Only one of them able to be covered. And it went right to the guy that was all alone. What a stop by Andhurst.
So the draw is going to come out to the neutral zone. Looks like it was a hand pass, I think, from the Canadians. So we'll restart play with 17:19 left in the second period. Puck moved around the boards to the near side, kept in on the right side by Noboziak. Sending it down low. Roland gets it away for the Canadians. The South gets right out to the neutral zone. Stopped at center by Nebosiak, sent to the far side. Roland picks that up for the Leafs, dumps that hard and into the Canadian zone. McCoy out to play it, moves to the far side to Sapalo. That's cut off in the zone. The Sap down low. There's a shot by Black. McCoy with the save. Black moves that up the boards. Leafs keep it in. The Sap with a shot off the glove. And McCoy able to knock that down. Moved to the near side by the Canadians. The Nebosiak goes into the corner. Roland steps into that one. Gets it down to Black. Back in front for a Sap. A Sap shot. Hit a stick. Sent wide. Put down low. Canadians able to clear it down the ice. However, it's going to end up being an icing call, and we'll have the draw back in the Canadian side.
Well, these other MLAC lines have to take note of Black, Asaf, and Bent. Shoot first mentality, and numerous great chances there off that shift alone. Forced the turnover, Asaf forces the turnover. Bent able to get it right back to him, and I think Asaf had 3 more chances that shift.
Yeah, Asaf was posted right up in front. He was tied up though, or that would have been into the back of the net. Leafs win the draw. They keep the puck in the Canadian zone. Canadians, though, pick it up on the far side. That's chipped into the Leafs bench. Whistle goes, and we'll have a face-off inside the Canadian zone with 15:58 left in the second period.
Well, at this rate, Curtis, the over-under for total goals for this game is going to be about 17.
They don't let me bet on AEHL hockey anymore. I talk to Kane too much. There's Weiss with the shot, stick save, McCoy. That comes off the glass, rolls back to him. McCoy is going to cover this one up with 15:39 to go in the second period.
Well, now you're seeing the ice tilt a bit in MLAC's way. Tilting back towards McCoy here. After a good first shift by the Canadians, MLAC's really pushed the pace for the majority of this 4.5 minutes in the second period, Curtis.
Well, I like your strategy. Just shoot pucks on to McCoy. Let's see what he can do. There's another chance right there. He manages to hang on to this one. But the Leafs will get another offensive zone draw.
I just see 2 MLAC forwards hunting down the rebound.
Draw one by the Canadians. They move the puck out to the neutral zone. Back check by Rahal, gets it back. Moves it to Resler. Resler trying to jam it up himself. Puck taken away. Here's Hockenden. There's missing the far side. Bruce Anders got a piece of that. And the puck moved down into the Canadian zone. Hustling for it. First one back is a Saf. For the Leafs, comes back to the point to Resler. Resler tried to move that to Goudreau, and it bounces outside of the blue line. Resler takes that, dumps that into the Canadian zone. McCoy sets that up for Popovich. Moves that to the outside. Goudreau pinches in. Canadians going to move it out with it. Hawken caught at center by Resler. Proprov. Oh, and a shot right on to Anders. Anders swallows that one and hangs on with 14:43 to go in the second.
Well, MLAC can't be overhandling the puck in the neutral zone, Curtis. They got to gain the red line, get it in deep, and get back on that forecheck. That's been quite effective in this period and almost a half of this game.
Draw far side in the Leafs zone. Leafs winning. Canadians jump the draw though, get it back. Put back to the point, Pilkington keeps that in, that's fired into traffic. Backhand shot blocker saved by Anders. Shoveled it in against him again, and Anders is going to cover it up this time with 14:27 left in the second period. Who's putting on the goal horn?
Well, CAC is putting on the goal horn for a penalty coming to the Canadians.
Isn't that cheeky?
The goal horn is because your MLAC Scafom-rux Maple Leafs are back on the power play.
Face-off will be on the far side in the Canadian zone.
Simplify, move the puck quick, get the puck on net on this power play, Curtis.
Leafs keep that in. Oh, now Socek's going to rush that up the ice, coming up the left side. Picks the inside move. Anders with the big save. Puck comes available. Oh, swept over to the far side. Sitting right in front was Hoyer, and he couldn't get to it. Socek with the puck in the offensive zone. Flips that to the near side, knocked down by the Canadians. Cole with it, comes across center. Right side for Schumacher. Schumacher gets into the zone. Schumacher drops that back for Cole. Cole, low shot. Oh, McCoy got a piece of it, and then he steps out and covers up the rebound right before Schumacher can get there.
Well, we just about saw what we saw in the first power play, Curtis. Yowzers. I was going to say when CAC was inside the MLAC zone 2-on-3, you got to outnumber them. You got to get the puck back on the power play. You got to get possession.
Face-off won by the Canadians. They try to move it back to the point, but that's going to roll back into their own zone. Baldwin back to play it. Baldwin. Over to Canal. Canal up to Cole. There's a good breakout by the Leafs. They get into the Canadian zone. Cole back up to Baldwin. Baldwin cycles down low, hangs onto it. Looking for Cole. Cole sitting up high, sends it to the far side. Landry able to chip it out and send it down the ice. 45 seconds left in the Canadians, or in the Leafs power play. Cole with it. Far side for Saf, up to Canal. Skips past Canal. Matters, jams that out to center. Shields, picks it back up. And the Canadians will put that down the ice once more, clearing the zone. 20 seconds left in the power play. Canal with it. Up to Cole. Cole comes across center into the Canadian zone. Cole driving down low. He's pushed hard into the boards. Puck comes loose. Behind the net. Leafs get it. Canal in front. There's a shot. Cole with the save. Puck available. Now it's sent to the far side. Canadians get their man out of the box. They're back to full strength with 2:15 to go in the period. That puck's going to end up down the ice wide. That'll be an icing call. Then we'll have a face-off back in the Canadian zone.
Now, even that last time, Curtis, when MLAC able to get set up in the zone, then it was just an errant sort of off pass that got into the skates of Cole. You need to make those passes crisp in order to set something up.
Puck put down low. Peak picks that up for the Canadians. Puts to the near side. That's turned over. Resler keeps that in the zone. Bent sends that below the net. Jammed out in front. McCoy's going to come over and cover that up. Black tried to slide that back to Saf. But the Canadians goaltender able to seal that off. Gets the stop with 12 minutes to go in the second period.
Yeah, now the Leafs back to 5-on-5 where they've been doing most of their good work. And Black just tries to chip it back to the front of the net. Maybe try to put it off McCoy and in.
Canadians win the face-off in their own zone. Move it to the near side. That's cut off at center by Holowadiak. Canadians get it back, though. Puck in the Leafs zone. Picked up by Krusov. Directed towards the net. Good save by Anders. Cleared away, and Black has the puck. Black going up the far side. Shovels that forward. Comes into the Canadian zone. That's knocked down by Nebosiak. Put up the right side and into the neutral zone. Krusov with it. Here's a shot. Anders with the glove save. A little bit of a bobble, but he hangs on for the whistle with 11:24 to go in the second period. Face-off will be on the near side. In the Leafs
a little bit
zone.
off to the whistle there, Curtis. Nothing to be called an infraction, I guess, so we'll continue 5-on-5. Haven't seen much of that throughout this game yet, so.
It's been pretty clean after the whistles. Canadians late change. The centerman escorted fullbacks to take that instead. Puck sent down low. Rolling on the far side. Looking for Fayad. It skips past him. Rolls back into the Canadian zone. Matter picks it up. Reverses it. Back to Popowich. Popowich's pass knocked down by the Leafs. Shoveled down low. Picked up again by Payne, maybe? Matter gets that out to center. Lost control of the puck. Smith gets that for the Leafs. And Roland's going to put that out to center. Puck comes back to the Leaf zone. Rahal with it. Moves that over looking for Smith. Skips past him. Payne gets that for the Canadians. That's chipped through the slot on the far side. Fayad trying to jam it out. Canadians keep it in. Only for a second. Spills to the open side for Jafaris. Jafaris and Matter battle it. Rahal gets the loose puck. Sends it into the Canadian zone. Popowich back to play it. Turned over to Rahal. Rahal for the Leafs. Working it down low. Low shot. Comes into the slot. Shields couldn't contain it. That's cleared away by Fugelborg and put up the ice.
Good job by MLAC to get in a whole line change here, Curtis.
Shot by Shields just over the mark. Kept in the zone by Canal. Heda comes back. Moves it out. Canadians coming up the right side into the Leafs zone. Back check by Cole. Takes the puck away. Trying to beat him to the corner. He's stopped. Gets the puck up to Shields. Up to Roberts. Roberts gets that out to center. And the Canadians will have to tag up. Coming in the right side. Soychuk. Puck knocked off of. Anders makes the save. Loose puck cleared over to the near boards. Put back to the point. Put down low into the slot. That's going to be knocked away. Comes over to the right side. Picked up by Canal. Canal hustling up the ice with it. Goes left. Pilkington takes him down. Picked up by Carson. Carson hands it up to Soychuk. Soychuk has the puck chopped off his stick. Goes to the corner to retrieve it. Back to the point. There's a shot knocked down in traffic. Comes over to the near side. At the point, Pilkington turns, fires. Kicked away by Anders. Roberts with the puck. Moves that up. Turned over at center. Pilkington with it again. Dumped right on. That is wide of the net. Picked up on the far side by Prusov. Leafs get that back to the line.
Now we're going to get a penalty here. Shields is going to go for a cross check, I believe.
Is it on the far side there?
Yeah, on the half wall.
Coming up the boards.
Finished his check just a little too aggressive and a little bit up, and it might have been that second one he gave him when he was down on the ground.
Yep.
That got him the 2 minutes.
Cross check when the player was on his knees. That would do it.
So MLAC will be on the penalty kill, and the Canadians will look to get a little bit of breathing room here. MLAC going to look to build off this penalty kill. Hopefully successful and go from there. This game far from over, Curtis.
Leafs win the draw. Gaudreau harder on the boards. Shoemaker is going to chip that the rest of the way down the ice. McCoy out to play it. Hands that off to number 4, Matter. Matter has to quickly move it over to the near boards. Canadians come up to center with that. Put in by Hejdukovic. Hejdukovic takes that low. Gaudreau puts him into the boards. Smith comes over to help. Smith wins that. No, Gaudreau wins that battle, gets it into the corner. Landry spills that down low to Hejdukovic. Far side, Canadians. Number 8, Vihos has that. Down low for Hejdukovic. Stepped into the slot, cleared away by Gaudreau. Still in the Leafs zone. Trying to move down low. Smith knocks the puck off of Hejdukovic. Vihos with it. Low shot. Anders with the save. From a sharp angle, he had to grab that one. He hangs on with the Canadians right on the doorstep. 8:02 to go in the second period. 1:10 left in the Canadians' power play.
Well, first penalty kill unit did their job. 50-second shift. They're off, and it'll be block wrestler Rahal and Holowadiak out as a second PK unit.
Puck's dropped. Leafs win it. Holowadiak tried to move that to the outside, and the Canadians knock it down. Canadians with possession.
Go get him, go get him, go get him.
Walking it in, number 5, low shot. Anders with the save, cleared over to the near side. Black, hard off the glass, and that's going to be down the ice. McCoy out to play it. Shovels it to the far boards for Pilkington. Pilkington meeting some resistance from Rahal. Now it's moved up. Here's Hawken with it. Hawken comes it up the left side. Holowadiak chases him into the boards. Pushes him off the puck. Holowadiak, nope, comes loose. There's a shot. Oh, and it comes just off and into the back of the net, over the shoulder, or under the shoulder of the Leafs goaltender. And a power play goal for the Canadians comes with 7:20 to go in the second period.
A great job by Holowadiak to push his man to the outside, the puck carrier. But second support, KC or Canadians player comes in, picks up that puck, and nobody goes to him, and he's able to walk out and get that shot as he gets right to the middle of the ice and just, he knows where the net is, just get the shot on net, and it gets past Enhurst for a power play goal for the Canadians.
5-3 for the Canadians. Here's Prusov coming in. That shot blocked by Smith. Rebound goes over to the near. Up to around, far side. Put down low by Hawken.
Well, Smith looking for a pound of flesh there.
Laundry just able to sidestep that check. Popovich pick up the puck in the Canadian zone. Landry turns it over, kept in the zone by the Leafs, and then it bounces out. Here's Smith. Asaf picks it up. Asaf finding room on the far side, coming in with pace. Asaf, there's a shot. He scores! Idris Asaf puts it over the shoulder of the Canadians goaltender, and that will be a hat-trick goal for the Leafs forward.
Well, Smith gets the puck in the neutral zone, takes the hit, leaves the puck for Asaf, and Asaf curled to the far side. The defenseman knew where he was, but no forward went to him, and he just lasered that upstairs. And again, they go upstairs on McCoy, Curtis, bringing the game back within one. Answer right back the next shift. Great job.
Great pushback. Love to see that from the Leafs. Can't even tell that they were just scored on. Now let's see what pace they can bring. Canadians with the puck in their own zone. Put up the near side. Rahal coming in, but the Leafs were caught offside, and we will stop play with 6:30 to go in the second period.
Oh, momentum just snatched back from the Canadians. 9 goals just through half a game of play, Curtis.
No kidding. 9 goals on 50 shots in the game in total. Here come the Canadians. Prowler puts that wide. Smith picks up the loose puck, takes it below the goal line, tries to eat it up against the boards, springs loose to the far side. Canadians have it. Puck to the point. Pilkington rips that down low. Stick save. Anders sends that to the far side. Shoemaker off the boards. Nope. Rushing onto it is Baldwin. Baldwin coming up the right side. Couldn't make the inside move on Pilkington. Canadians roll the puck into the Leaf zone.
The Maple Leafs defenseman dived for the bench as the puck came right up the wall.
Turned over in the Canadian zone. Pilkington with it. Far side for Carson. Carson centering pass. It's going to be handled by Vihos. Vihos couldn't make it around the Leafs D man. Cole puts him to the ice, and Baldwin comes back into the Canadian zone with it. Baldwin looking for a trailer. Nope, he dumps it into the corner instead. Moved up the ice by Canadians. Nabosiak. Nabosiak takes that into the Leafs corner. Comes loose to the far side. Asaf gets the edge. He's on his horse again, coming up the right side. Makes the inside move. Drop pass. Oh, Bent just over skates it. And it comes out to center. Cole puts that on the near side. Fugelboard knocks that down in the Canadian zone. Gets past Nabosiak. Asaf tries to chase it out. Far side, chipped into the corner. Bennell puts that to the line. Oh, that is through the slot, over to the near corner. Cole pinches in. Puck comes out to center. Asaf with it. Near side for Bent. Bent chops that into the Canadian zone. Back to play it is Peak. Peak, near side for Nebosiak. Touch pass from Fugelbord up to Soychek. Soychek comes into the Canadian zone. Soychek on the far side. Turned over. Bent is going to move that up the ice. Bent coming up the right side. Tries to drag it in. He turns it over in the Canadian zone. Matter rushing it up the ice. Coming up the left side. Hun. Low shot on Durst. Followed up. He gets the save. Puck's still available. It's in the blue paint. He hangs on. Canadians with the puck behind the net. Matter tries to step in front. Leafs deny him that. Still in the Leafs zone. Resler sweeps that to the far boards. Fayad picks it up. Tries to move that down the ice. That's cut off by the Canadians. Tipped in front. Rolls over to the near side. Jafaris ducks that into the near boards. You go.
Canadians holding MLAC in the zone here, looking to strike as Bent will rim it around the boards, up to the point, but not out. They'll get jammed back up, kept in by Pilkington of the Canadians. He'll fire it wide into the opposite corner. MLAC trying desperately to clear the zone here and get a whistle. That puck right through the slot. He had some tired legs on here, a shift of probably over 2 minutes by now as the Canadians looking to strike. And on that note, a courtesy whistle as the net is off its moorings, accidentally by mistake. So Coach Brick's able to get in a full complement of 5-player line changes. Like I said, hemmed in their zone, the Canadians looking to get back to a 2-goal lead, but MLAC held on for dear life, and the face-offs in the Leaf zone to the left of Andrews.
Puck's dropped in the Leaf zone. Smith moves it around to the far side. Roberts tries to pick it up. Gets shoveled back into the corner. Landry takes a hit. Holowadiak moves that to the near side. Canal with it. Canal hanging on. Taken away by the Canadians. Only for a second. Here comes Canal up the ice. Canal up the left side. Pass to the right side to Roberts. Roberts chips that in. Goes to chase in front. Roberts tries to move it over to the near side. That's cut off by the Canadians. 2:25 to go in the second period. Canadians, Pilkington centers that to Prusov. Prusov avoids a check, comes in the right side into the Canadian zone. Couldn't get past the combo of Holowadiak and Smith, and loose puck goes up on the right side. Pilkington fires that into traffic. Smith gets that out to the neutral zone, and Carson's back to play it for the Canadians. Carson, far side for Pilkington. Back to Carson. Far side for Prosov. Landry tried to move that out. That's cut off at center by Smith. He dumps that back into the Canadian zone. 1:50 to go in the second period. Hawken.
There we
Smith
go.
makes Hawken pay to receive that pass. Puck comes up the near side. Smith at the point. Fired in. McCoy got a pat on that. Baldwin with it. Tried to shovel that back. That's read by Hawken. He's going to move that up the ice. Hawken comes across center. Up the right side. Into the Leafs zone. Couldn't get inside Smith. Loose puck on the near boards. Hawken goes back to retrieve it. Now it's chipped up. Baldwin caught by Pilkington. Hawken with the puck. Cross-ice pass to Sopralo. And he's dumped. Smith with the loose puck. Far side for Shoemaker.
Right.
Shoemaker up for Rahal. Rahal lost the handle. Canadians throw that back out to center. Cole puts that on the far side. Canadians dump it back in.
1 minute remaining, Curtis. You don't want to give the Canadians anything here.
Leafs pick up the puck in their own zone. Cole with it. Over to Rahal. Rahal. Cross-ice pass looking for Shoemaker.
Oh, would have been a clear 2-on-1. Oh.
Would have been. Peak gets that up the ice, though. Coming up the right side. Holowadiak. There's a shot. McCoy with the save. Oh, sorry. That is Barkermeyer. I didn't notice the goalie change, did you?
No, I didn't, but I could see why. MLAC's been pushing. That was Goudreau. Good job by Goudreau to throw the puck to the front of the net and go park right in the blue paint. Force a face-off deep in the Canadian zone. 36 seconds remaining, but you're right. Barkenmeyer is in the net. Boy, Curtis, we were asleep at the wheel there.
We were so focused on this action, not so much on the goalies. Ben picks it up on the near side. Now it's chipped out. Here's Goudreau. Peak puts that out to center. Canadians coming up the right side. Soychuk is checked into the corner. Soychuk keeps possession. Soychuk.
Somebody's got to go to him. You can't have him come out of the corner.
Oh, there's a shot that hit Anders. Goes over the net. 5 seconds to go in the period. Soychuk with it again. Centering pass for Ben. And that's going to do it. Again, the Leafs hanging around in this game. They're heading into the locker room down 1, but certainly in this game.
Oh, you hang on at the very end, that last shift. The Canadians looking to get back to a 2-goal lead, but the Canadians unable to capitalize, and your Leafs bring it back to within 1. So down by 1 going into the final 20 minutes, Curtis. We've seen the Leafs dialed in here. A few hiccups that are Canadians capitalized on, but obviously, if I'm the Canadians coaching staff, I probably started McCoy hoping that Birkenmeier can start the next game, but now you've been forced to play Birkenmeier.
Yep.
So probably gets them off their game plan as far as the goaltending choice. But we'll see if McCoy comes back into the third. For the third, I would be surprised if he does. I think they will stay with Birkenmeier for the third period.
Every game counts right now. So if you're the Canadians and you've been dominating teams all year, and you have the bottom of the league coming against you, playing this well against you in the playoffs, what do you say to your team coming back for the third period?
If I'm the Leafs, sorry,
if you're the Canadians.
Well, if I'm the Canadians, I just tell them, you know what, let's try to get these guys, let's keep pushing the pace, try to get the Leafs to take undisciplined penalties. And if I'm the Leafs coaching staff, I'm telling them the exact opposite. Keep throwing the puck in deep, winning the puck battles on the forecheck, forcing the turnovers. I think for the most part, pretty much maybe besides the one where,
Ben?
Yeah, the cross check either by Shields or Bent, where it was just the secondary.
Maybe it was Shields.
Right?
Okay.
Besides that, this MLAC Leafs team has been disciplined, and that's what's allowed them to stay in this game and not provide power play opportunities for the Canadians.
Great point, partner. Stay away from the penalties. There was only the one kind of poor choice in the game so far on the half of the Leafs.
So the shots on goal in the second period for the CAC Canadians, 23 for a two-period total of 41, and for your MLAC Scafom-rux Leafs, 10 for a two-period total of 15. So 41-15, your goaltender has faced a lot more rubber than theirs, and I mean, if you look at the stats, maybe that's why they put Birkenmeier in there. Obviously, in the first period, 2 goals on 3 shots. The coaching staff probably looked down at Birkenmeier a couple times down the bench thinking, is it too early? It's only 4 minutes into the game. So it's anybody's game in the third period, Curtis. And like I said, everybody makes it to the playoffs, and it's anybody's game in the playoffs. Anybody can win.
That's right. It's the AEHL playoff hockey here at Castle Downs. We're going to take a break and let our sponsors have a word.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, let's get to the scoreboard. Hello, folks. Welcome back to playoff hockey. We are here at Castle Downs Arena B. The Canadians, Think Green, are up on MLAC Scafom-rux 5-4 as the team's just getting ready for the third period. Oops. Well, we started talking about staying out of the box for the Leafs. And we're also talking about, at the break here, the intensity level and what we're seeing, what we like out of the team wearing the white sweaters today.
I think coming into the third, the Leafs are going to want to focus on testing Berkemeyer. The new tender as McCoy was out after the fourth goal was scored by MLAC, and they've put Berkemeyer in the net, so I'd want to test him. Keep up the energy level, Curtis, and if I'm the Canadians, I'm probably getting on my team to say, hey, why is this MLAC team still close in this game?
Canadians put the puck in the near side of the Leafs zone. Leafs get it back. Cole hangs on to it. Gonna set this breakout behind his own net. Trying to look for Bent. That's knocked down. Bent knocks it back to Cole, though. Cole is gonna rush it out himself. No, lost the handle. Turned over. Here is Landry. Landry sends that down low. Weiss takes him. Puck left back for Cole.
The wet ice, Curtis, still not frozen.
Black gets over a peak. Asaf gets that out to the neutral zone. Here's Weiss, carries that in the far side of the Canadians bench, and they're going to call offside here. As, now we're going to get some chippiness. Not what we drew up for with the Leafs on this one.
Oh, Weiss tries to carry the puck in, and he's pasted in the numbers as soon as he makes contact with the first player at the blue line. No penalty on the players offside was called, and play continues.
Canadians win the draw. They take it in the far side of the Leafs zone. Leafs center that. Anders knocks that away. Puck goes into that far corner. Swept over to the near side for Soychuk. Soychuk centers that. There's a shot blocked by Shields. Hutton tries to pick it back up, sends it to the far corner. Shields on the far side, turned over. Matter has the puck, sends it down low. Put to the far side by Gaudreau. Chopped back to Smith. Smith with it. Tries to move it up the ice. That's cut off by the Canadians. Smith gets it back though. Flips to the far side. Canal puts that up the boards and into the neutral zone. Popowich back to play it for the Canadians. Cycles from the near side. Makes the pass up to Hutton. Skips past him. Smith with the puck for the Canadians. Flips that to the far side. Soychuk knocks that down. Turned over to Roberts. Roberts is going to put that deep into the Canadian zone. Left that for Popowich. Followed up by Canal. Canal takes that into the corner. Canadians get numbers. Oh, shot from the point by Gaudreau. That hit a player in front, and then it rolls towards Barkmeyer. And he's going to make the stop here with 18:08 to go in the third.
Well, Barkmeyer, no intention to play that. He'll hold on for a whistle. Allow his teammates to get a line change.
Draw near side in the Canadian zone. Canadians coming away with the puck behind his own net. Sent to the far side. Now it's put down low. Picked up by Carson. Carson near side. Battle for it on the half boards. Trying to move it off the boards. Refs urging them to get the puck going. Battle for it still on those boards. Now it comes loose. Chopped into the neutral zone. Picked up by Resler. Resler cycles behind his own net. Going to Rahal on the far side. He tried to chip that up. That was cut off by the Canadians. Resler again up the boards. Held out by Pickleton at the far top. Oh, knocked down by Baldwin, and it's going to come back. Carson's going to get there first for the Canadians. Followed by Shoemaker. Nice play there. There's a shot. Oh, Beckerman on Baldwin. And tipped away. Comes over to the near corner. Point for Rowan. Rowan fires that down low. Comes off the end boards. Hits the back side of the net. Battle for it on the far side.
He's taking those shots.
Sent down low. Canadians reverse it to the near side. Carson up to Benall. Kept in by Baldwin. That hit his stick, goes to the far corner. Rahal picks it up in front for Shoemaker. Shoemaker had his stick lifted, couldn't get the shot he wanted. Back to the point. Roland and Baldwin work together to keep it in. Goes over the right side. Now the Canadians, seen enough, put it right on to goal, negating the icing.
2 shifts in a row, Curtis. That's 2 in a row for MLAC. Controlling the pace.
Resler slips at center, but gets the puck into the Canadian zone. Nebosiak with it. Puts it behind for Peak. Peak comes over to the near side, looking for Saprolo. That's knocked down by Asaf. Asaf picks it up at center. Cole takes it and dumps it into the Canadian zone. Barkemeyer picks it up. Hard off the glass. That's going to end up down the ice. We're going to have an icing call here. And the whistle goes with 16:05 left in the third period.
Well, we're into our third shift now, and simple hockey, Curtis. Simple hockey is what wins you hockey games, and MLAC now content just to get the puck back in to the back wall and get on the forecheck, force turnovers, and force the Canadians just to ice the puck. So it's coming.
The Leafs win the faceoff. Holowaniak just puts that past the far post. Barkemeyer probably didn't see all of it. Late to react. Battle for it, still in the Canadian zone. Spinning, turning, South puts that down low. Popowich moves that up the boards for Landry. Landry, that's cut off by Asaf. Put that into the corner. Asaf, put that down low. Saf on another level, throws that in the slot for Ben. Ben shot that into a player, goes just wide. Cole at the left point, turns, fires that into traffic. Black tips that over to the near court. Ben tries to shovel that down low, gets it over to Asaf. Asaf moves that back to Black. Black turns, fires that into traffic. That's knocked down. He moves over to the near side, keeps it in, winning the battle against Hawken. Puck stays in the zone, and now Popowich puts it to the far side. Smith pulls it out to center, tries to dump it back in. That's knocked down. Here's a chance for the Canadians to move it up the ice. They do. They put it into the near corner of the Leafs zone. Hutton tries to move it around. Smith blocks it on the far side, moves the puck up the other side. Carson keeps that in at the point. That chips low. Picked up on the far side by Hidukowicz. Hidukowicz coming off the boards. Takes it in the corner. Sends it down low. Wants to get it to Soychuk. Soychuk moves that to Carson. Carson keeps it in at the line. Knocked down by Black.
Gotta get it out.
Black
there we go.
Moves that to Weiss. And all he did was fire it down the ice, but ends up being an icing call against the Leafs with 14:31 to go in the third.
Oh, that's all right. You'll take that at the end of a shift after the Canadians able to get some zone time on MLAC, but 3 shifts in a row, Curtis, for MLAC controlling the pace and a good opportunity to score. Barkmeyer able to get his blocker up and stop that second opportunity in the slot.
Leafs put it on the near boards. Canadians put it down low. Battle for it behind the net. Picked up by Hidukowicz. Throws out in front. Anders with the save. Puck still available. Trying to cycle it to the far side. Hidukowicz picks it back up for the Canadians. Centering pass. That's broken up by Weiss. Can't get it out of the zone. Kept it on the right side by Nebosiak. Rolls over to the near side for Soychuk. Soychuk, that shot hit Anders. Anders able to hold his post, keep his balance, and gets the whistle with 14:04 to go in the third period.
Oh, that's a shift for the Canadians now in the MLAC zone, Curtis, so they're pushing back now.
Yeah, just a little trouble clearing it, but Canal should be able to do that right now. Gets it out. Nebosiak bumps him off the puck, though. Resler back in the Leafs zone, starting behind his own net. Resler puts up the near side, skips past Goudreau. Centering pass, Canadians have it. Prosov takes that into the near corner. Back to the point to Peak. Peak fires that through traffic. Anders with the save, kicks that to the far side. Canal with it. Canal is going to put that down the ice. Peak couldn't hold on to it. Roberts trying to skate on, and moving it up was Barkemeyer. Barkemeyer puts that down the ice, and Gaudreau back to play it for the Leafs. Knocked down by Hidukowicz. He fires that into traffic. Loose puck comes to Canal. Canal reverses it back to Resler. Resler couldn't get the pass to go. That's knocked down by the Canadians. Side check. Enters the slot. That's knocked down. Oh, another one. Anders has to make a great save there. quick reaction by the Leafs goaltender after some turnovers by his team in their own zone.
Oh, Anders had to be sharp there as that outlet pass fanned on. Ends up right on a Canadian stick. I imagine Enzo's eyes got a little big there.
Yeah. Probably his heartbeat started skipping. Looks like there's an error at the draw. We're going to redo it. Leafs put it back to the line. There's a shot from the point, knocked down by Anders. Cleared away by Weiss. Shoemaker with it. He's going to carry it up. Nice pass to Rahal. Rahal comes up the left side, chips it outside. Back to from Baldwin to Rahal. There's a shot, and Barker-Murray makes the save. Asaf puts that back to the point, and it's going to get past Cole. Cole comes out to center. Right side for Shoemaker, who couldn't get to it. It ends up being an icing call, and this will be an unforced error. We'll have a face-off back in the Leafs zone. 12:39 to go in your third period. Canadians out in front 5-4. So it feels like the momentum swung a little bit in the Canadians' favor.
Yeah, a little bit for now, but we'll see if MLAC can push back here.
All it takes is one shift to get right back on the horse. Roland puts that down low for Asaf. Asaf cycles behind his own net. Can't get to the outside. Gets the puck to Bent though. Bent up to Black. Black couldn't chop it forward and into the zone. Moved down the ice by Carson.
Nope, they're going to wave that off.
Icing waved off as Cole picks up the puck on the far side. Leaves that in the corner for Asaf. Up to Bent. Bent with it. Off the glass. That's going to back into the Canadian zone. Carson with it. Moves that out to center. Chip down, and Asaf picks it up. Cycles over to the near side. Finds a seam. Comes in on the right side. Asaf, here's a shot. Barker-Murray with the save. Rebound. Goes to the far side. Asaf comes back for it. Keeps it in the zone. Whistle goes. And a tripping penalty.
Tripping? Wow.
Let's see if we can catch that on the replay. Puck goes down low. There's Bent with it. Turn it around. Oh, and they're going to call Black.
They're going to call Black as he curls in the zone. He clips the Canadians player inadvertently, and they're going to call him for a trip. Asaf almost scores again. Looks to go up over the blocker of Barkmeyer, and the Canadians are on the power play.
Yeah, for some of the stuff they've been not calling in this, that would be in the not call category. Matter with the puck for the Canadians. Vijos fans on the shot. Goudreau puts that around the boards. Shoemaker wins the battle, gets it down the ice.
Well, that's exactly it, Curtis. They've allowed the two teams to play here, so I'm surprised that they would call that infraction.
Canadians enter the Leafs zone. Landry with the puck. That's put over to the near side. Kept in the zone by Matter. Shoemaker comes up to challenge. There's a shot by Prusov. Misses the far post. Bent's going to get that out. Matter knocks that down at center. Matter cycles over to the near side. Reverses. Goes back to the far side. That's cut off by Rahal. Rahal coming up the left side. There's a shot. Saved by Barker-Murray. Kept in the far side by Smith. Rahal with it. He's going to eat that up in the corner. Eating time here. 55 seconds left in the Canadians' power play.
Well, Hawken returned the favor on Smith there along the boards.
Turned over at center again. Jafaris moves that back to Smith. Smith is going to float that down the ice. Right on the stick of Barker-Murray. He's going to have to cover it up.
Great job by Rahal to get down there and force the face-off. That's going to be a face-off. Barker-Meyer's looking. Why was it such a quick face-off or whistle? Like, well, because you had your glove on it.
Face-off near side in the Canadian zone with 10:24 to go in the third period. 38 seconds left in the Canadians' power play. Face-off going to be taken by Rahal. Wins it. Back to the point to Cole. Cole is going to skate that into the neutral zone, hanging on to the puck. Now dumps it back in. Pilkington knocks it down. Moves it to his partner, number Peak. Peak far side. Hidukowicz is moving it up. No, that is Soychuk moving it up the ice. And they won't call that one.
You're not going to call that one after you called the one before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Pete keeps it in the zone. Goes into the corner. Cole ties his man up. Oh, Leafs did a great job killing off this penalty. They get their man back on the ice.
Well, took a run at him,
there.
and MLAC's going to be on the power play.
Weiss moves it up the ice. Weiss over
As
to
Rahal was
sent down low.
Rahal was filled in. It's going to be boarding, of course, as Rahal was a good 3-4 feet from the boards when he got hit, clearing the puck out of the zone at the end of the penalty kill. And your MLAC Scafom-rux Leafs are on the power play.
Penalty to the Canadians comes with 9:33 to go in the third period.
And I'll give MLAC the advantage because it's an offensive face-off, Curtis.
Face off far side in the Canadian zone. Black wins that. Gets to the far side. Canadians chip it down the ice. Rushing into the zone. Oh, good toe save by Anders. Keeps the puck alive. Black cycles to the far side. Makes the pass to Saf. Saf resets. Goes behind his own net. Loading up. Far side for Bent. Bent tries to chip it back. He's tied up at center. 1:30 to go in the power play. Here comes Cole. He double clutches. Gets it to Weiss. Weiss on the right side. Carries that in. Drops that back to Bent. Bent turn. Slap shot. By Breckenmeyer, and Black couldn't get there in time to pick up the rebound.
Between the midsection and the blocker arm of Backmeyer.
So good patient breakout there. They were stopped a couple times at center. One was kind of risky, but Leafs able to move it up the ice, get an offensive zone face-off now. Puck's dropped. Canadians win it. Resler keeps that in at the line with the help with Holowadiak. Canadians, though, second effort, will get it down the ice. Coming back for it is Vihos. Vihos puts the pressure on. Puck goes loose behind the net, picked up by Holowadiak. Holowadiak up to Canal. Canal with space, comes into the Canadian zone. Tracked down from behind. Slap shot by Shields. Saved by Barkermeyer. Canal with it. Tries to put that in the middle. That's knocked back to Resler. Comes back to the Canadians. The Canadians are going to dump that into the neutral zone. 30 seconds left in the Leafs power play. Holowadiak up to Canal. Canal. Fired into player. He gets it back though. Moves it up to Shields. Shields to Canal. Nice give and go there. Canal enters the zone. Canal with a shot. That's knocked down. Sent to the far boards. Shields puts that down. Looking for the corner. That's picked off by the Canadians. They're going to clear the zone. Anders sets that up for Roland. Canadians get their man back on the ice. They're back to full strength as Baldwin comes up the right side and into the Canadian zone. Baldwin moving it down low. Flips that back. That's caught by the Canadians. They try and send it to the far side. Shoemaker pinches on the far boards. Rahal had it for a second. And now the Canadians put that out to center. Smith with it. Dumps that all the way back into the Canadian zone. Canadians, Pilkington picks that up on the near side, dumps that into center. It skips past Roland. Smith comes back to cover. Smith reverses it back to Roland. That's cut off by the Canadians. Sochek sends that down low. Centering pass broken up by the Leafs. Sochek goes into the corner. Roland bumps him off the puck. Leafs puck comes into the slot. Back to the point. Carson looking for Pilkington. Misread. Shoemaker comes up the left side. Couldn't move it to Rahal. Shoemaker wins the board battle though. Gets the puck over to Roland. Roland comes across center. Dumps that on to Barkermeyer. Barkermeyer's going to hang on to this one, and we'll get a whistle with 6:33 to go in the third period.
Again, a good whistle. Good job to get that puck deep. Forced Barkermeyer to hold on. So not only did you get an offensive face-off, you can get fresh legs on the ice as the line of Shields, Fayad, and Jafar is out with Cole and Gaudreau on the back end.
Canadians win the draw. They move it to the near side. Gaudreau steps in, keeps the puck in the zone. Second effort by the Canadians gets the puck back to the Leafs zone. Cole back to play it. Cole reverses. Tries to put up the near side. Gaudreau finds the puck. Moves it up. Oh, his pass knocked down. He does move it to the far boards for Jafaris. Jafaris puts that on the outside. That's knocked down by Matter. Down to Landry. Landry's put into the boards. Leafs trying to move it out. There's a slap shot from the point. And that is off. Kicked over to the near side. Popovich couldn't keep it at the line. Covering was Matter, and Matter will put that back into the Leafs zone. Cole with the puck. Over to Gaudreau. Gaudreau reverses it to the far side. Picked up by Nebosiak, who's pinching in. Nebosiak slides that to the near corner where Gaudreau picks it up. Put outside. Peak keeps that in the zone. Now comes in the slot. That's knocked down.
18 is gonna hurt somebody.
Now goes to the far side. Here's Bent with it. Bent tried to flip that out. Chipped out by Shields. Canadians coming back with it. Prosov steps into the slot. Puck chopped off his stick. Shields on the near side. Put out to center. Fayad trying to chase it up. Peak gets there. Oh, Peak comes back to the Canadian side. Picks up the puck. Moves it up the ice. That's cut off by Saf. Saf looking for Fayad. Skips past him over to the near side. Prosov gets to center and will put that into the Leaf zone. Shields takes his man into the boards. Put back. Shoveled into the slide. That's broken up. Good play there by Resler. Asaf finds the loose puck and he's going to rush it up the ice. Asaf trying to drive it wide. He's put it into the boards. Puck goes loose behind the net. Gets it back though. Near side. Canadians trying to move it up the boards. That's cut off by Weiss. Bent keeps it in on the near side. Black fires that into the open corner. He's going to be picked up by number 16, Kondo, and put into his own bench. We'll have an offensive zone faceoff for the Leafs.
Well, Kondo heard the train a coming, and that was Ressler. And he just elected to fire it into the bench, and the Canadian coaching staff diving for cover. The faceoff will stay deep in the Canadians' end. Coach Bricks, another full line change.
4:16 to go in the third period. Canadians win the draw. They get the puck out to center. Smith knocks that down. Rolls back to the Canadian side. Picked up by Carson. Carson trying to cycle it to the right side into the Leafs zone. Shields gets the puck away from him. Carson follows it up though. Smith in. Oh no, turns out into the front. Now it's through the slot. Cano picks it up. Cano in transition. Up to Roberts. Roberts coming up the right side. Into the zone. Stops. Turns. Holodiak on the trail. That's fired in traffic. Roberts puts that in front, and Barkermeyer is going to make that stop. And we'll get a pause with 3:44 to go in the third period.
Roberts trying to center the puck back to Canal in the hash marks, and goes off a stick and trickles to Barkmeyer, who holds on smartly.
Jala won by the Canadians. The sickle behind their own net, going out the far side. Flipped gently into the center. Smith knocks that down, tries to move it up. Swaychak knocks it back to himself. Puts that up the left side. Holowadiak will put that out to center. Picked up by Carson. Carson on the near side. That's cut off by Roberts. Centering pass. Didn't connect with Canal. Comes back to Shields. Shields avoids the check. Chipped in front. And Canal directed that just away instead of on net. Shields. Over to Roberts. Roberts couldn't catch up to it. Canadians move it up the near side. Holowadiak keeps that in at the line. Floats one just off the glass wide. Swaychuk picks it up. Canal puts him into the boards. Puck turned over at center. Holowadiak near side looking for Roberts. Roberts gets that into the zone. Shields with it. Tipped in front. Matter knocks it down. Harder on the boards. Holowadiak keeps that in. Chipped over to the near side. Bent with it. Loading up behind his own net. 2:40 to go in the third period. Bent lost control.
How is that and not a penalty? Right up into the head, and Hawkins been running around all game. No penalty on that as he ran him.
Here comes the Canadians into the zone. Whipped on the shot, turned, fired, missed it again. Here comes Asaf. Asaf
That's a
gets
hook.
hooked by Novosiak.
That's
Oh,
offside.
man.
It should be a hooking infraction as well, but no call on the play there either, Curtis.
Offside was the call made on the ice with 2:11 left in the third period. We'll have the draw just outside of the Canadian zone. Canadians chip it back to their own side. Here's Pilkington trying to move it out.
Keep fighting, Emma.
Comes over to the near side. Takes that down low. There's a shot wide of the mark. Baldwin chipped into center. Now comes over to Shoemaker. Shoemaker dumps that in the right side. Pilkington back to play it. Far side for Cole. Cole fires that into the open corner. Goudreau fires that towards the net. That's blocked. Comes out to center. And Rahal's going to pick that up. 1:33 to go in the third period. Pass, chip down. Now comes back to Rahal. Rahal trying to drive it through center. Followed up by Baldwin. Baldwin can get into the zone. Rahal, near side for Shoemaker. Shoemaker gets that in. Over to Baldwin.
Oh,
Back to
Enzo
Shoemaker.
Andhurst is pulled.
There's a
Curtis.
shot. In front, Brickemeyer makes the save. And Shoemaker keeps a hold of it. Now it comes back.
Sorry, buddy. And action at that end. Andhurst had just been pulled. The Leafs getting the man advantage on the ice right as Berkemeyer comes up with that stop. And I believe we have a timeout here with 1:05 remaining in this tilt.
All right, so the Leafs likely to go with an empty net until they score a goal or till the end of the game. They do have an offensive zone face-off coming right now.
Well, even that last shift before they pulled the goalie, Curtis, just dumped the puck in, beat the defenseman to the corner, able to get possession of the puck, get a couple shots, but instead of trying to carry it in, MLAC has figured out just to let the puck do the work for you as long as you got the legs and get there first and force the turnover or get possession. But a play being drawn up here by the Leafs. The face-off's going to be deep in the Canadian zone to the right of Berkemeyer. 6 on 5, 5-4, 1:05 remaining. Here we go.
It's go time. Face-off far side in the Canadian zone. Baldwin bearing down against Soychuk. Soychuk wins it, slides it down low. Canal jumps it, gets it back in front for Cole. Oh, and Black shoots. Oh, that's just off the mark. Put out to the neutral zone. Coming back is Dugovic. He's going to win that battle and put it into the back of the net. That is an empty net goal for the Canadians. And that will be the icing on the cake for Think Green.
Yeah, Canadians just able to get a player back behind the defense, and we unable to push the puck carrier off the puck, and he deposits it into the empty the cage. 6-4 lead for the Canadians. 51 seconds remaining in this first playoff round robin game for your Leafs.
Face off at center. Puck chopped over to the near boards. Still battling for on the near boards. Leafs trying to move it up the near side. Comes into the Canadian zone. Knocked down by Matter. Now sent to the far side. Centering pass by Baldwin. Knocked down. Put to the far side. That's chipped out to center. Oh,
See, Hawkins just running around here. You play at a higher level of hockey, Hawkins will have to answer to somebody if he plays junior playing like that, Curtis.
Well, you could have put him in the box about 5 times for charging tonight.
Well, somebody's going to take that challenge once you get up into U18 and into junior. You run around like that. But the officials, no call on the play, 16 seconds remaining. The net pulled again.
Fired on. Mark makes makes the save. Battle for it in the corner.
We don't want to get any suspensions out of here. We'll see what happens. 5.3 seconds remaining on the clock as the whistle blows. Puck just pinned along the boards in the Canadian zone to get the whistle, and both teams, well, I guess MLAC will get a line change and the Canadians will sub out one player.
Face off far side in the Canadian zone. Leafs get a shot on. Barkmeyer makes the save, but the whistle goes pretty quickly here. 2.7 seconds left on the clock.
All right, the Leafs will be back in action tomorrow night. I believe it's 6:45, Curtis.
Puck goes into the corner, and the buzzer goes.
Like it's that shit right there by Hawken. What do you expect? Come in, you win a game by 2 goals, and then you go and cross-check somebody in the back at the whistle. Just garbage.
So you're right, we will be on the ice, or on the air again tomorrow night, 6:45 from Millwoods.
Just classless hockey, Curtis. Classless hockey.
Well,
What an effort by your MLAC Leafs to stick around in this hockey game. Unfortunately, falling 6-4 to the Think Green Canadians.
it was a great game by the Leafs. I think they found the recipe. I think they found what they need to do to win.
Yeah, and that really pushed them through pretty much all of this game, was that type of hard work, intensity, and forcing turnovers in the offensive zone and just shooting, getting the puck to the middle of the ice into the danger zone and shooting, getting the puck on net, looking for the rebounds. It's a simple recipe, and hopefully the Leafs have found it for the rest of this playoff tournament, Curtis.
Absolutely. Sure hope so. Yeah, I was pretty impressed with what we saw out of the Leafs tonight. Excited what they can bring against Southside tomorrow. So first up, the next 2 games are against Southside Athletic Clubs. Tomorrow nights will be against Pro Hockey Life, and Saturdays will be against Innovation Physio.
And that's a 6:45 game tomorrow, Curtis, for all our viewers.
6:45, yes sir.
Okay, well, I will see you back then.